Hello, diecast fans, and welcome to another new episode of Jim's Magnificent Miniature Motor Cars, in which once again I compare an old Kyosho to a new Mini GT. The cars in this case are a McLaren 650 and a McLaren Artura. It's not quite the same as the Porsche 911 turbos I compared previously because those cars were very similar looks wise. Whereas here, the McLaren 650 is quite noticeably different from the Artura in the way it's designed. That said, well, I mean, they're both McLarens, so, I kind of thought it might be worth attempting a comparison. Well, in truth, I still like this McLaren. I've had the 650S for about 3 years, and I know the car itself is almost a 10-year-old car compared to the Artura, which is brand spanking new and follows a notably different design philosophy from the 650. It's kind of an apples and oranges comparison here. But still, I want to point out some fine details that shows why Mini GT has taken premium 1/64 scale to the next level. Now, okay, both of these cars, well, they're both premium cars, and yet both of them do not include brake assemblies. So you don't see it here on the Kyosho, you don't see it here on the Mini GT. There are no brakes here. But this is worth looking at, see. The Kyosho wheels, and by the way, I'm really happy to note that they roll. The Kyosho wheels look cheap and plastic, right? Compare and contrast that to these Mini GT wheels, which are obviously also plastic, but nonetheless managed to achieve a metallic look thanks to this finish. I know some Kyoshos have also done that too, okay? But with this particular model, they clearly dropped the ball, which is kind of a shame because, like I said, I like this model. I think it's a real looker. Okay, so what's another feature? Well, the Kyosho has the hard side mirrors, which are really a staple of 1/64 scale premium cars, whereas Mini GT have gone with their innovative soft side mirrors. It's, for me at least, it's a hit or miss strategy. Sometimes it works, and other times it has, it results in misaligned mirrors. But, that's their philosophy and they stick by it. Okay, when you look at the stance, well, I'm happy to note that Kyosho, even then, got its stance, absolutely right. And Mini GT pretty much does the same. These are both brilliant cars. And Kyosho and Mini GT, in my humble opinion, each did the model they were replicating justice. Okay, so why exactly am I making this video? It's not necessarily to assert Mini GT superiority yet again over Kyosho. Although before I do conclude, I'd like to point out that this Kyosho cost me, it cost me about 800 pesos, 800 Philippine pesos 3 years ago. So yeah, this was something like a $17 or $18 car. Now contrast that to this, which cost 500 pesos and is there for less than $10. So you can see that even though the quality of build between these two models is comparable, Mini GT isn't necessarily the runaway winner list this time like it was in the case of the Porsche turbos. Mini GT still wins out because its model is just that much more affordable. Now, I don't know if it's because Kyoshos are just inherently expensive or it's down to the lack of a distributor, but it's the same thing. People outside of Japan have to pay more for Kyosho 1/64 scale cars, and that's simply not the case with these Mini GTs. So yeah, I guess you could say Mini GT wins this round again. But I do want to point out that both these cars are brilliant and I'm happy to have them both. All right. So I do recommend, if it wasn't clear from my unboxing of this car, I do recommend that you pick up the Artura. But I would also recommend, if you can find it on the secondary market at an acceptable price to you, that you pick up this Kyosho McLaren 650S. It's a nice bit of heritage, especially for those McLaren fans among you. All right, and that concludes this comparison video, old versus new. Hope you guys liked it. And for those of you who just got here, I hope you'll consider giving me a like and a subscribe and hitting that notification bell.